Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to a point in this market cycle where tons of chart analysts are starting to talk about people in crypto being very close to making life-changing money. In fact, a very popular chart analyst that I follow, who is very big on XRP, says that you will all get filthy rich in 3 months. So I want to talk about that concept. Also, where's this market cycle gonna top off? I've got a chart analyst who has an opinion on that, and also Bitcoin dominance. It's at 41.36% as I record this, but is it gonna go up? Is it gonna go down? What does it mean for altcoins? Plenty to talk about in this very latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam. But before going further, I do want to be clear that I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos all up on the internets about crypto-related topics, just as a hobby though, just for fun. Now, as I record this, XRP is at 96 cents, Bitcoin's at $43,771, market cap for the asset class just a hair shy of $2 trillion, and as I mentioned a moment ago, Bitcoin dominance 41.37%, and we're seeing green over the last 24 hours, not looking too shabby, not monstrous moves to the upside quite yet, but all good things in time. So, given that, how are the lemmings feeling today? Ah, yes, the stereotypical retail speculators out there. Well, here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, and they're feeling slightly worse than yesterday. Yesterday, they were feeling fearful at 27 out of 100 on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, and it's dropped down 1 point to 26 out of 100 now. And I'll tell you what, you just wait until the face melting portion of this market cycle hits. Because when that happens, like, they're gonna need to adjust this scale, because 100 out of 100 will not be sufficient. It needs to be like, I don't know, like 200 out of 100 or something stupid like that that doesn't make any damn sense. Because 100 is not enough. The degree to which all of these people will be experiencing not just greed, but extreme greed, it's going to be impressive, and they'll be feeling it at a time when they really should probably not be feeling it. So many of these people will be buying in at the top of a bubble. But hey, we're all adults, we all get to make our own choices. I'm counting on humans behaving just like that, which is why I've been planning for the last nearly 4 years, exactly for this blow off top. This is exactly what I've been waiting for. We are so close. You can taste it, right? Oh yeah, delicious. You just wait. That XRP, my gosh. It's going to result in so much disgusting face goo all over the pavement. It's going to be in grocery stores, just in your office, at work. There's just going to be melted face goo everywhere because of XRP just rocketing up. It's going to be gross. I just seriously can't wait for it. Now, here is a tweet from the aforementioned XRP chart analyst, DIY Investing. I want to talk about this topic. He tweeted out the following: "You will all get filthy rich in 3 months, but all you need to do is remember one thing. It only happens if you sell. Take your damn profits." So a couple of things I need to break down here. First of all, as far as the timeline, DIY Investing is one of the chart analysts I follow that does not believe that market cycles are lengthening. He believes that they're still just like clockwork ever since day one, 4-year cycles. And so it would be an interesting discussion to see him debate some sort of other analysts, because a lot of analysts think that it's actually expanding. And so I don't know why that is, because data is data. You'd think that you could just figure out, but I assume it has something to do with disagreements in terms of what's the beginning and end of a market cycle. Other than that, I can't imagine why it wouldn't be clear cut. But most analysts, I think, seem to agree that it's lengthening to some degree. And so I found some of those arguments compelling. I don't know for sure, but it's just interesting. So I don't know for sure who's right or wrong. But here's the thing. If DIY Investing is correct and the market cycles, the timing, it's going to be exactly the same as it's always been, these 4-year cycles, and it's going to be just like last time, that means that, the end of November and in particular, like beginning of December, you're going to see some crazy fireworks. If that's really when the blow off top is coming, my friends, we are super duper close. Like it is. We are right there. We're right on the doorstep of this damn thing. And again, that is the most fun because I was here in 2017 when all that nonsense was happening, the blow off top. That's right when I happened to have jumped into crypto. Weird time to jump in, but very fun nonetheless. But this time I'm positioned much more sufficiently than I was several years ago. Much, much more sufficiently. And so when this happens, I think I'll be sitting pretty. That's my suspicion here. And I'm sure many of you listening are as well. So this is the moment that we're waiting for, but it's exciting to think, like, if DIY investing is correct and the length of the market cycle is going to be the same, it really is a matter of just a few months away. That's it. And then life-changing wealth, filthy richness is coming. But, of course, it does require that one actually sells their cryptocurrency. That's the thing. And so for me, and I'll say this again, I haven't said this in a little bit, but it's important to understand this, and there's always new people joining the Moon Lambo channel, so thank you, new subscribers. I'm happy to have you here, but you need to be aware of this. Like, in terms of timing the market, it's a fool's errand. I don't even attempt to do that. I really don't. And so that's why when I was preparing for this rally, I was dollar cost averaging in for years and years. And I did make some larger purchases about a year ago because I just thought, I really firmly believe what I'm saying. I was like, I really think I should step it up because if I don't, I'm going to regret it. So after dollar cost averaging for years, I did make a number of larger purchases, with my last one being in the beginning of October last year. Haven't purchased XRP since then. My bags are full. But just like I dollar cost averaged in for the vast majority of the time, I'm going to be selling as the price goes up. Now, this is going to be over a much shorter period of time, not a span of years, but perhaps, a week or 2 or 3 or whatever it ends up being. But that does mean that I'm not going to be selling the top. And it also means that since I understand I'm not capable of selling the top, I'm not going to beat myself up when I look back and have hindsight and know exactly how high XRP ended up going. I'm not going to beat myself up and be like, oh man, I coulda, shoulda, woulda. No. That's a children's game. I don't know in the moment, and when this happens, I'm not going to know. And so I'm just going to sell on the way up. And when I sell, it's because I'm sufficiently enticed at that moment. In a vacuum where I don't know how high XRP is ever going to go, I'm happy taking some profits right in that moment. That's all that matters, reducing my risk exposure at that exact moment in time. That's the right thing to do for me, and that's exactly how I'm going to do. But you do need to take profits. That's how I feel anyway. And so it's not going to be all at once. I will sell on the way up. And too many people, I have a concern about this for too many people out there that have been planning for too long. I'm just concerned that too many people are going to be trying to hit the very tippy top, and if you mess that up and you miss, what if what if you miss the top and then you kind of overshoot, and then on the downside you're like, oh wow, so that didn't go so well. It's just, so for me, I'd rather just start selling on the way up, little bits here and there, and then when we have bigger jumps up, I'll really start to sell. And to me, that's what just makes the most sense. But DIY investing is correct here. You have to actually sell at some point. And if you're obsessed, as many new investors are, if you're obsessed with hitting the top, you will fail. That is not the way to approach this. You have to make peace with the fact that you're not going to hit the top, and that's actually really normal. You're incapable of doing that. Substantially less than 1% of humans will hit the top, and the ones that do, and it'll be almost nobody, it'll be on by just a fluke. Just a stroke of luck. That's all that it will be. Because they won't know when they're doing it for sure that's the top. But somebody has to sell the top, right? And somebody has to buy the top. So just keep that in mind. And then there was this also from DIY Investing. The most profit you will ever make will be made in the last 4 months of the cycle. Even though it will be short-lived, I can't wait to watch y'all change your lives financially, and I look forward to each and every moment unfold. I'm rooting for y'all more than you'll realize. And so I like that sentiment, and I share that too. I hope everybody listening ends up having wild success, because the quickest way to make the most money in life, to be honest with you, it is investing in crypto. That's what I believe anyway. That's my humble, unprofessional opinion. But I'm seeing what it's done for people over the last 12 years, and I see that the environment is still sufficient for that type of activity to occur now. Yes, now. And it has been. Think about what's happened over the last 12 months. All sorts of people have made life-changing money, and only a handful of coins have really popped off to this point. It's going to get completely bonkers. And so as far as what he said there with he said the last 4 months of the cycle, that's when the money's to be made. If you're thinking that's in conflict with what he just stated with life-changing money in 3 months, actually not so much. If you consider the last market cycle, I was talking about ballparking it here, late November, early December. That's when the fireworks really started. Yes, and so the Bitcoin bubble popped like 2/3 of the way through December. The XRP bubble popped January 4th, 2018. That's when the tippy top came in. But there were other coins that actually hit their peaks after that, like way later in January, and there may have even been a handful after that. I'd have to go back and look it up, but there may have been some like February and beyond. But not many. So most of the action did happen like late November and mostly in December, but there were some outside of that. And so, if you consider the distribution, yes, most of it's in the middle, but there will be some roughly over that time span. So just be clear, I think that's why he cited that, and it's true. And here's another analyst that's basically sharing the same sentiment. This is El Chapo. On Twitter, he wrote, "Life-changing money is about to be made for a lot of people. I'm really excited." Yeah, and so I'm very excited too. There's a reason that I look forward to running this Moon Lambo channel with a silly ass name every single day. It's because I know what's coming. And I'll tell you this too. I acknowledge that I don't literally know what I'm saying for sure. Of course I don't. Nobody does. I'm living before the future has happened, so of course I don't know for sure. But the way that I've been feeling, and it's not just because of like whimsical emotions or anything like that, but the way that I've been feeling about things for the longest time, I mean years at this point, is not so much like if XRP is going to go to these types of levels, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means it goes to $8, $9, $10, $20, $30 this market cycle. I don't pretend to know, but I've always felt like it's not a question of if it's going to do that, and even though I don't know where it's going to top off, not if it will have some parabolic run and hit its all-time high and ultimately price discovery. It's more like when. Like that is how I've been approaching this. And as much as I love the fundamentals about XRP, it's not even as much about that. It's as much as like I see where Bitcoin has gone and where it's going, and I know that XRP and everything else follows. And I'd much rather be in XRP because it's less liquid. And so it's going to have a much more substantial multiplier effect when it finally runs than Bitcoin will this market cycle. So of course, XRP will outperform Bitcoin this market cycle. That's a virtual certainty, right? And so I'm excited for that. I am waiting for that. But yeah, that's the way that I live life. Like from day to day, I'm just like, yeah, it's going to happen. And I'm not even really questioning it. Not that I'm literally at 100% certain, because how could I be? But it feels about as close to that as possible. It really does. And again, it's not even about the fundamentals. The fundamentals are great for XRP. And I'm glad that I have it just in case humans decide fundamentals matter out of nowhere, because then I'll be sitting pretty still. But it's coming, my friends. Now, here's a tweet from chart analyst Leb Crypto. And he has a different perspective here, so I wanted to share this. It'll be fun to look back and see who's right. Not to throw it in somebody's face. Let's not be jerks about it, because I don't know for sure who's going to be right, and I'm not pretending to. I just like people like being open and honest enough and having the guts to share their opinions on this stuff. I'm not a chart analyst, and if I were, then I'd share my perspective. Like specifically, I'd make price predictions and that type of stuff, but I don't make price predictions because that's just not my forte. I'm interested in it just as much as you, but that's why I just think it's interesting to share opinions from a number of different chart analysts here. But Leb Crypto, he's not buying into this, Q4, into the bull run thing. So here's what he tweeted out in his most recent tweet. Macro steps of how I see the remainder of this macro Bitcoin 4-year cycle. Bearish Q4 in 2021, following bearish stock market. Boring sideways Q1 2022. Then he states that in parentheses, altcoins outperforming Bitcoin. And then he says, final major bull swing Q2 to Q3 of 2022. End of 2019 through 2022 macro bull cycle. So that is later than what many analysts are expecting, but it's not bonkers. It's not like it's way out there. It'll be interesting to see who ends up being closer to accurate on all of this. But I will say this, given that it's almost October at the moment I'm recording this, like if I could fast forward 1 year from now, I would be absolutely shocked if 1 year from now, if we're not in bear territory, like going to the downside, seeing that the bubble has begun to deflate to some degree, 1 year from now, I would be surprised. I'm not so bold to make predictions on stuff like this, but I'd be really surprised if 1 year from now we're not in bear territory. Which is fine, though. Like, the bubble will have popped. We'll have made all our money if we're not idiots and we sell on the way to the top rather than just hold forever. And then we're going to have so much opportunity in the bear market, which is why I hope everybody out there listening will continue to stick around and consume crypto content, and hopefully including the Moon Lambo channel, because it's going to be, that is the most important time to listen to what's going on and pay attention to what's going on in crypto, because that's when things will be cheap. When people are not paying attention because it feels like, the sky has fallen, it's all going to zero, everything's hell and crap. Like, when that sentiment comes and everybody's in extreme fear, that's when I am going to get greedy. I'll do the exact opposite, just like I did over this past market cycle, and it's panned out quite well because there are a lot more people in crypto than when I was buying 1, 2, 3 years ago. There's a lot more people in crypto now, and they're paying higher prices than what I was paying. So I'm counting on that happening again. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Michael Vandepop. The top of the entire crypto market as capitalization, I think around $10 trillion, same size as the dot-com bubble in 2000. So first of all, as far as the dot-com bubble, for some reason I was thinking it only got up to like $6 trillion, but maybe he's right and it actually did get up to $10 trillion. Either way, what I wanted to focus on is the fact that he thinks the top of this market cycle will see a market cap of $10 trillion, which is 5-fold from where we are right now. That's a massive increase. And so if you're sitting there thinking, okay, well, the XRP's around $1, a 5-fold increase only takes us to $5, WTF, Moon Lambo? I'm like, not WTF. It's because not everything's going to Moon at the exact same time. So when cryptos start running randomly, you'll see random, just out of nowhere, and you won't know when it's going to come exactly, but random altcoins will start just going parabolic, insanity. People will be plowing in, just getting as quickly as they can to purchase on the way to the top of these parabolic moves up, which is a terrible move, in my opinion anyway. But that's what they're going to do, because that's what they've always done. And then eventually people are going to want to take a bunch of profits. Then you're going to see it cascade down. Prices, stop losses, all that jazz. Prices will crater very quickly. I mean, all this can happen in a matter of days or a week or two or whatever it ends up being, just relatively, just speaking, short time periods. But then that money does go somewhere else. So it's not that XRP or any pick your crypto is only going to have a 5-fold increase. No. It's more likely it's going to have a much higher multiplier effect than that. But that's why you're only going to talk. You're talking about total altcoin market cap 5 times higher. That's why. It's because it's the same money filtering through the system again and again and again. That's why. So $10 trillion. I don't know for sure where the top's going to be, but that number does not sound bonkers to me. It really doesn't. Last market cycle, we got up to somewhere in the neighborhood of $850 billion. We did not hit $1 trillion last market cycle. And then there was this from chart analyst Kaleo. Imagine selling 1 ETH for less than 10,000 United States dollars. And by the way, as I record this, Ethereum, it's at $3,100. The reason I thought I'd mention this is because last market cycle, Ethereum and XRP topped off at the same market cap. Not at the exact same time, but it was somewhere in the neighborhood of, well, actually, I can't remember the number off the top of my head. It doesn't matter. The point is that Ethereum and XRP was 100 and something billion, and they both had the same peak. It was somewhere in the neighborhood of like half of what Bitcoin hit or something like that. So I'll just say this. If Ethereum's going to hit $10,000, then XRP's breaking $20, if it matches Ethereum anyway. And these, I know when it's sitting around, it seems impossible when XRP's hitting, what did I say? Is it 96 cents as I record this? I know, it sounds so impossible. Yeah, until it happens. Just like when XRP was half a penny, the idea of it going to almost $4, about a year later, complete insanity. I understand. I know. 80,000% gains. I understand. But then it happens. Because it's not about fundamentals. The humans are going to behave the same for every single coin, including XRP. Don't think just because you hold it, you're the one missing it. I understand how human psychology works. Like, what if I'm the one that misses it? The whole market moves in tandem, folks. The whole market moves in tandem. That's my belief, anyway. Now take a look at this from Credible Crypto. First is tweet from July 8th. During our last bull run, there were multiple instances where Bitcoin dominance spiked for some relief on its way down. I still fully expect a new all-time low on Bitcoin dominance before this bull run is over. Eyes on alts if/when Bitcoin dominance hits 50 to 55%. that will probably be the best time to load up on altcoins. And so, what actually happened here? Because again, he was saying, once you see Bitcoin hit 50 to 55% dominance, and it was much lower. It wasn't. I can't remember what level it was at that point in time, but it was lower. I don't know if it was like 40% or whatever. But he's saying that once it hits that, it's going to be time for alts to run in all likelihood. Okay, so where are we now? Well, here's his latest tweet. We hit 49% on Bitcoin dominance, 1% shy of my target. Close enough. Expecting Bitcoin to chop around in the coming weeks/months, allowing altcoins to rally and sending Bitcoin dominance to new all-time lows. And so last market cycle, Bitcoin dominance got down to about 35%. This market cycle, he's expecting it to break below 30%. Which seems plausible. There are a lot more altcoins out there, and you get crazy multiplier effects with even more coins. Bitcoin's, to share the market, even if it's moving up in price at any given moment, it'll still be decreasing because altcoins will be outperforming Bitcoin. So it's all coming. Everybody just be patient here, and we don't have to be that much more patient. Like we're at the tail end of the damn market cycle, folks. This is the time to be excited. And so, to me, it's just the way I perceive it. Like I said a few minutes ago, it's an inevitability. That's what it seems like to me. As close to 100% as possible. That's where I am on this. As close with that, because I'm never going to say I'm 100% on this, and I acknowledge I could be wrong, but I'm betting accordingly. I've placed my bets, and I think life-changing money is coming for so many people out there listening right now, just because the people that have been in crypto and have positioned themselves accordingly and they know what they're doing, I think a lot of them are going to make life-changing wealth. So just be careful out there, because investing in crypto, obviously, I'm not pretending like there's no risk here, but I still think the biggest risk to investing in crypto is just one's self, because of the emotions that are in play here. And especially if you have that in conjunction with the lack of understanding historically of how these markets have behaved, that's a bad recipe right there. But I'll go ahead and wrap up for now. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.